benevolence. It's love every time. You're on the O.W.U network, the original world union, the origin of world humanity. And we are breaking you off, bringing you in to the new vibration, which is really, there's nothing new under the sun that's real. We just bringing the vibrations that's coming from the cosmic sources outside the dome of the Mama Earth. And you are right here with me, O.W.U Ikalini, Asaru Ma'a, the Pet Bay, also known as mild mannered citizen, David Amitri, and I'm live in color. This is the O.W.U network, and we're breaking you in. Breaking you off. Because everything is in mental. It's psychological in your memory bank, but it's energy from your heart and energy coming in and the outer that you feel. And so we're going to get metaphysical, but we're going to talk about some real shit going on affecting all of us, and some trippy shit that's really to distract you. But you got to be able to use that distractive energy, not the consciousness, not the information, not the events, but the energy. And you not only have to learn, which is based off of memory, but you got to be able to perform, which is practice and showing and proving. So it's not in vain. It's part of life as a human being. So don't forget, there's fools everywhere you go, and there's a foolishness to everything, whether it's goddess or God. And that's what you need to realize, the danger, the fear-mongering, it's messing with you, but you got to have your enlightenment, which is within, connected with the forces of nature outside of you. And this is the brilliance of what we are doing here with O.W.U. And
what we're doing is I'm telling fish that they live in water. There's a young fish and an old fish, and the old fish says, "Hey boy, how's the water today?" And the young fish says, "What's water?" Water. Why? A fish spends its whole life immersed in water.
And that's just an analogy to really what is going on here with our reality and what we're sharing. We're going to talk about today, and right now we have a very important focus, and that's what we need to be doing, because there's so much beat shit going on in the world. There's so much trouble in the world, like Bob Marley said, and you have to know things like Donald Trump getting shot, so to say, we can go there. Is it a scam? Is it real? Blah, blah, blah. Well, that whole polarization dynamic is part of the matrix programming. But then how does it apply to your everyday life? You got to enjoy life and be happy. Really, though. So when they say it's a distraction, it's not a distraction from being ultra serious and ultra perfectly so-called spiritual. And it's also not just a distraction from you getting your money and enjoying life. And it's also not just a distraction. And that's what this whole talk is about. To see the holisticness in everything, and to be able to be caring, but to be in the moment, in the right now, responding and reacting, so that you can benefit and everyone in your life can benefit. You see what I'm saying? And this is what's going on, and this is where we're headed with this. So yeah, let's keep it going. We are connected to the very important stream of life. And what is distracting about this is there's one thing or another that's going to give you challenges. And so let's get a talk in. And the one thing I want you to know, let's get to the technical end. This is meant to be a talk, like a podcast, audio. It's not meant for you to sit still watching me. You don't have to watch the screen. I will put images up on the screen, but that's not what we're doing, and that's not what I'm doing. Our focus is you hear the knowledge, you learn, but you be able to keep flow with what you're doing and where you're at. And that's what I want you to get used to whenever you tap in with me, because that's the energy we're trying to keep, where we're complimenting who you are. And again, that's the main focus of this specific talk, is to keep your flow regardless of these polarizing, chaotic entropy energies that are trying to keep us in a feeling like that pandemic did, a feeling like that September 11, 2001 event did, that feeling like the economic crash in 2008 did. It want to keep us where we feel bogged down. We're not feeling ourselves. We're not feeling good about life. Let me tell you something. You saw Muhammad Ali, or you heard about him, and you even saw him, and you got to see how the circumstances that he had to deal with in fights were very, very extremely dangerous and painful. You could see it. It was not him being bogged down, sad, and feeling tragic about the end and how hurtful. It was him being able to look past all that and to feel himself. So before we go into any of the challenges that we're facing, any of that beat shit and all the hurtful parts, and this could be hurtful or that could be hurtful, let's go into the simple fact that you have the right and you should be feeling yourself and bigging yourself up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's why I don't just have a O.W.U network, O.W.U Infinite Network channel. That's why I also have David Dimitri live in color, the mild mannered citizen, as you know. But, you know, into my spiritual evolution, my spiritual infinite eternal existence, I am O.W.U Ikalini, Asaru Ma'a, the Pat Bay. But I still gotta feel myself as a human being. I'm David Dimitri, and I'm live in color. And that's how we doing it. But we're gonna get back to this subject matter that is the balance of the chaotic, polarizing, hostile energies that are constantly bombarding our conscious awareness, and that we've grown sensitive to, born and raised in it. And when I say those harmful energies, I'm talking about not just cosmic spiritual forces and these unseeable battles going on, the forces of good against darkness. No, I'm talking about your everyday life and how you're going a building and you were going there and you being an ascendant, you being a positive vibrating energy in a conscious awareness. And you're just trying to go to do what your goals are, but at the same time, if any encounters with human beings or animal life, you want to make sure that it's a positive experience. But you go into these buildings, you get online, and it's this negative messaging, or it's these human beings kicking off bad vibes. You go in there because you're a different type of handsome man. The other men are hostile towards you because they're with their woman and they don't feel you. Or you got these people with this racist agenda going on. And so we have, just like right now, you hear these sirens. That's real. those are real sirens. Those are real sirens. Something's going on out there. That's hostile. You know what I'm saying? It gives you a feeling. It makes you feel like, you know what I'm saying? Especially with the thing going on with Donald Trump and all that. It can make you feel like, you know, how far is this really going to go on the negative end? You know what I'm saying? And so I'm going to throw this up on the screen. I'm having, and this is an image of what my thumbnail from a talk I did on the O.W.U YouTube, of which you are watching me, or if you are not watching me, once you run across this live, go to this video too. But hearing those sirens, seeing Donald Trump get shot, it all subconsciously starts to bog you down. It starts to get you, whether you realize it or not, into these cares. And that's what a young guy like that guy that did that shooting with Donald Trump, that stuff overwhelms. Now, I don't really know what happened completely. I got my own theories. But a young woman and man, a teenager, even a child, or older man and woman could get bogged down with all this craziness going on and get these already embedded information in them, and they can start getting them to have these desires to do harmful things to themselves or others. And it don't have to be violent, harmful things. To cope, you might want to eat the wrong things. You want to have sex addiction. You don't want to, but you turn to that. It could be drugs you start using, legal or illegal, in a destructive way. You could start being overly, you could be depressed, and depressed don't just mean you're introverting. Depressed could also mean that you are extroverted and you are not calming down and getting peace enough. Depression comes out in either or. Depression is neutral. You can end up overly hyper and drain yourself with the over anxiousness and the over attention giving or over attention getting addiction. Or you could be just depressed, don't want no attention, don't want to be bothered, and feeling all down and hurt. And there's triggers. And so back to the main objective, we need to balance. This talk is about the balancing of these chaotic, polarizing, hostile, sabotaging energies, not just the big ones like I was talking about with Donald Trump, but the personal things, like when you walk in a building and people are giving you hostile vibes because they don't like you or your kind. And like it or not, people that are more closer to the white race feel like they have an upper hand in the United States and in Europe and different places, and they're more hostile toward the blacks. But people, period, once they have good going for themselves, the real hostility becomes about classism. So if somebody have a certain, I deal with that, even though I have more assets and certain things from certain people when I go into their neighborhoods or their stores and stuff, because of my ethnicity, my look. I have a beard, it's brushy, nappy, dreadlocks. I don't always have ponytails. Look at this long I grew this in a pandemic. Look how long that is. A lot of people subconsciously and even consciously say, oh, that's a homeless man. I dress ragamuffin on purpose. My wife knows that. I don't want to be bothered. Sometimes I dress up. And I kill him with it. But the real point is, there goes a lower level, macro level, micro level, hostilities, polarization coming at me. So it might be coming from a Hispanic male. He's just programmed. He's doesn't like anything but that. I might get it from a conservative black man that only like dark-skinned black men with bald heads, even though I'm a black man. This is It happens to me. I don't like mixed color or light skinned black men. Even though some of them have a harder life than me, I just don't like them. I get to play the white man, but within the black race. Some people don't like you because they're heavy and you're thin. You want to be bigger. You want to trade with them. And then if you're weak, you make a mistake and you start, every time you see somebody that look like them, you just feel like they all that way. It's not true. Some people just plain out negative, and no matter who they deal with, they negative toward them. Or some women don't like men. A lot of classism comes through women. I go to these places on purpose, and I make sure I dress ragamuffin. I don't dress up. I'm not there. I'm there to mess with people's heads. You see what I'm saying? And therefore, I'm safe psycho-spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. Because when I do dress up, guess what? The low self-esteem people who try to play and give all these microaggressions and roll their eyes because of my presence, it's a lot from women. A lot of classism come from women because they have low self-esteem, so they need a man to fit their program look. When out in public at places where people like malls and these upper class malls and event spaces, yeah, it's like that. I get that energy, and I want to relate with y'all that get that energy because of whatever difference. You might have long hair and be Hispanic, so women might not like you because you don't have it in a perfect ponytail. It's brushy. And you might get bad vibes. You have to go through it. I just want you to know you're not alone. You might be a woman that dresses ragamuffin, perfectly clean. You look good, especially when you dress up, but you don't want to be bothered with that. You've got some things you're doing, and here come these men with their bad vibes. You see what I'm saying? It could go for anybody, is my point. Then you might be walking in a space where it's LGBTQ and you're an aggressive male like me, and heterosexual male. But although you cool with everybody, there's some people there that they giving you bad vibes because you're the heterosexual and you're aggressive. They getting that, he can hold his own vibe. Okay, so why am I getting hostility? Well, I'm probably the funniest, most humorous person in here, fun-loving and generous. But you're not giving me a chance. You're getting back. All this is what I'm speaking about. Along with that stuff like the Donald Trump thing, like United States battling over position with China and Russia all around the world with all these combat zones and all these almost Cold War, War III, combat zone, hostilities all through the news, all in the movies. Then you hear about all this cheating. You go to the gangster stuff. You get Maze and Cameron in their show talking about Shakur Stevenson and how he's a born boxer, and then all that hostility and people going back and forth online over little shit like that. And Sexy Red got dissed by this vidcaster, and Shannon Sharp in the battle, and the haters of Cat Williams and the lovers of Cat Williams. All this stuff going on. You got these people hating on Kendrick Lamar because they're infatuated and in love with Drake, and he could do no wrong. And it's just really everybody's allowing themselves to fall into the victim mentality, but they calling other people victim mentality. They calling somebody else is hostile and polarizing tripping, but they hostile and polarizing tripping. They calling other people jealous. Ain't nobody paying no attention to them, but they the ones really jealous. They calling other people, they look unhealthy. Come to find out, they don't want unhealthy. Going to the gyms, got muscle and all that, 20 years later dead. The dude they call skinny and unhealthy got 30 more years to live. and already 10 years older than them. Because y'all thought muscularness is what the real health was, being super buff or something. Didn't Tank Davis just knock out that brother, the muscular brother? This is what we're talking about, breaking the illusions. So in dealing with all these hostilities, the way to deal with it is through the cosmic powers, the cosmic forces. You got to be able to deal with psychologically like you're going through a movie scene. Every day you get up, even in those little segments of those days, in those moments where your mind is blank, is the best time, because now your spirit and soul can deal with things in the instinctual level, getting you back in the now. But you have to know, when people talking about astrology and all that, that's a sincere thing and sincere effort, irregardless of who wants to try to criticize them in that. I hope you're listening. I hope you don't let anything about my visuals on my screen and on the YouTube distract you from getting this information and putting you in a place you need to be when you go about this day. Because as soon as you turn on that cell phone, it's going to be a challenges. The challenges to get you to get in either one thing, your addiction, your habitual self-destructive and self-sabotage through your addiction, not only scrolling, but choosing certain media to consume that draining your energy, not giving you energy, not empowering you, not informing you, and even programming you to feel unsuccessful, to feel unattractive, to feel not good enough, to feel set behind. I have a lot of stuff right now on the technical end that went wrong with this. Stuff just keeps coming up when you're trying to do things, and you can get frustrated and be like, whoa, it's me. Why things always go bad for me? That's just simply a programming in its own. No, it's supposed to be like that. Like right now, my YouTube screen is minimized for some reason. So my next live, I'll have that fixed. There's nothing I can do about it. The delay is too long. There's nothing I can do about it right now. So I got to be the best me right in my performance. That's why I said listen to the audio. Because the download is partially physical. It's partially physical. But what I will do for y'all is, since that is a problem, if you notice, I have a switcher right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on some visuals. So listen to this audio, this song. Hold on a second. So what you got to be tapped into these cosmic energies. Like I was saying, people that give their effort toward astrology and all that, that's not to be minimized or ignored. When people are talking about their spiritual thing and what they do and how they keep connected with the possibilities of reality and what times it is, what season it is. It's time to be more secluded and introverted. It's time to be out and free and fearless. That's why they use astrology. That's why they're into whatever spiritual devotion they're into. Ultimately, a lot of our spiritual devotion is not only for self-preservation and survival, but for thriving, for being able to see the future and create the future, manifesting, creating. But that's not what you're getting when you scrolling. Some of y'all ain't getting that when you scrolling. So I'm going to switch y'all over to right now I'm switching y'all back over. I'm switching y'all over to I have a screen set up so y'all can check out different visuals. And as I said, so now we're under that. What I will do is we're going to talk about some of these threats. Now that visual right there that you see, if you're looking on the screen right now, because there's a delay, y'all seeing something different. But for those of y'all that, once y'all see this, it's what's that? One of the presidents, founders of the United States of America, with an economic images with an arrow going down. So it's an economic crash. It's an economic downtrodden. That's exactly what that image means. And that's what it represents. The fact of the matter is we are really in some, the economy is what it is. It's neutral. But as human beings in the economy, regardless of what country and right now around the whole world, it's really bad. But because of the technology and manipulation of it and the potential of it, it kind of has people thinking that it's not bad. You see? So a lot of people think things aren't bad when they are. They really are bad, and that's what's going on. And you need to know that in order for you to be able to get the best out of life, preserve yourself, raise your kids, whatever the thing is that's going on with you, you need to be able to navigate. You need to be able to navigate the changes that are going on. You need to be able to see the future. You do, practically almost. You need to be able to get with the you gotta get with this, the changes, this severe amount of threats, probabilities versus possibilities, the cosmic energies versus the man-made, or whoever you really want to blame, reptilians, the dark forces, whatever you want to call it. You see what I'm saying? But what you want to do is have some source and ability and talents. You have to have a network of people. It's just like a player, she might say to herself, I got a man for this, I got a man over here for that, I got a man over there for this. A player, he might say, I got a woman for this, I got a woman over here, etc., right? Well, an accountant might say, I got this type of client, I get this type of pay in crypto, I got this type of client, I get this type of pay for this or that. And this is the level of awareness you need to be on if you really want to get with survival and thriving. You have to balance survival and thriving. You hear the explosion, but you hear the song kicking in. The song giving you inspiration, but you also hear that threatening sound. And you look on the screen, you see it's saying World War III right now. It says World War III. You know what I'm saying? You got all these threats coming into your mind. The visual before that was about the economic crash. But who do you have to help you realize that's an illusion? Who do you have that you vibe with and y'all actually talk about the metaphysical reality that this beat shit is illusionary? That's what I'm asking you, and I'm trying to tell you, you need to connect with me or whoever you feel comfortable with, because they look how you want. You only can connect with people if they look how you want. You one of them types. They gotta look like you, or they gotta be like the type of people you grew up with. You haven't grown where you can connect with different type of people, or whatever this issue is. You need to find someone where you got a special connection with them, Someone where you have a very special connection with them. And y'all connect in a way where y'all talk about the metaphysical, spiritual, evolutionary consciousness, lifting you and clearing your consciousness, not your subconscious, your conscious, your ego awareness of that beat shit of the dramas going on around the world. This is what you need to be doing. You really need to be connecting and talking on this level. You just can't sit and do yoga by yourself and read books. That's beat shit. You can't. Also, those of you that's balling or whatever you got going on, keep running around, traveling constantly, because while you're running from something within. You're not just running around a reality outside. You need to have special chosen people that you connect with. And when some of them don't be there for you and have the time, that's why you have to have another that you talk about the shadow work things, what is called shadow work. Really, that's checking with your subconscious and anything you anger, shame, or guilt. I got a book I'm reading called About Shame. It's incredible. But then I have another book that's about negotiating relationships. I have another book that's about negotiation in business. I'm reading all of them simultaneously on purpose. And I don't read them just from the beginning. Like this book right here is First Aid Manual. I always sit back and learn something about first aid, help, something that's practical for me, you know, because I got a lot of injuries, this and this, right? But then later on in the day, I'm reading something that's practical, not fiction. The Disaster Preparedness Handbook, the second edition, a guide for families. I'm up in this. I'm purposely studying the electrical power part in the water because I want to be able to provide for y'all. The image, World War III. The other image was Second Civil War. Now I'm doing from my screen, World War III, Second Civil War. Now I'm using my switcher to go back to me, and I'm talking to you. The books. I'm learning all this simultaneously. Then I have this negotiation. Then I go out to a local big-time mall or wealthy space, and I don't dress perfect. I dress just casual, little down. But I keep this super energy and positivity, and I negotiate when I communicate with people. Positivity, lifting them up to my positive level. If they reject it, I go and find someone else to get that positive energy. Although I have so much to do, don't have so much to do that it's doing you. I repeat, don't have so much to do that it's doing you, because remember what we're talking about today. Our focus is balancing and getting to the win-win out of your battles like Muhammad Ali did. Although he knew he was going to be battered, end up with a broken bone. He knew he was going to get injured. He knew he was going to suffer. But he also knew he had to win that match, play that game, and then he also knew he had to win the match before mentally with the media and with the person he had to fight. Then he knew he had to win afterwards with the post-fight hoopla and stuff with the media and all that. And so it was a whole big, and you had to be born and already had that type of greatness in you. They made that Gladiator movie. It was already a gladiator named Muhammad Ali, and we know that. And so what I'm saying, you are that, and you have to see yourself as that. And that's what my inspiration book I'm reading about tells me. It doesn't talk about the Muhammad Ali thing. Actually, my book does. I use Muhammad Ali as an analogy to how do you believe in yourself? It ain't got to be just boxing, but you need to find what was it about Michael Jordan and Muhammad Ali. They both talked all that crap to people, and they both was bigging themselves up and feeling themselves in that particular area of their life. So I'm practicing business negotiation. So I do communications with people about business. I give them a card, or I have them give them my LinkedIn. You know what I'm saying? Linked in the bio. Bam, 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 bam. And they can go to all my swoop. And that's feeling good in the process of the day. Although I'm facing a financial crisis. Also, I didn't get to the studio on time to do my technical and for the visuals in this particular live stream, right? Because I had to go handle a financial issue. After I'm done in this, for the music video, I'm going to go pick up some posters that's part of one of the scenes, and I'm going to interview some of the actors and actresses and dancers. You see, a lot is going on because I'm not only O.W.U Kalini, Asaru Ma'a here in O.W.U, the Pat Bay here in O.W.U, Original World Union. I'm also David Dimitri live in color. And you need to check with David Dimitri live in color. Now, what's on the screen? The next economic collapse. You see, I made a PowerPoint, put it together. Now, when I do my switcher, it switches from me to that. I had to learn how to do this on my own. I do all this on my own. I'm streaming to YouTube on my own. And so, yet there's a lot telling me that I'm upset and unhappy because I haven't got my reparations payment, and me and my people haven't. But that hurt me, right? Now, what's on this screen right now? Stages of World War III. This is part of the PowerPoint. Year 2015. Under that, 2000. It's a graph. 2016 through 18. Year 2019 through 21. Year 2022 through 2024. Then it 2025 onward. 2025 onward says beginning of the divine rule. Beginning of the divine rule. Stages of World War III. This is a graphic I put together. Right now, you'll be seeing it. So my delay in y'all seeing what I'm saying is shorter than I thought. So I did pretty good. It's just about 15 seconds, 10 seconds. So I'm coming back to me now. Remember what I told you about reading these books? I'm inspired by it. I feel good by reading that 1 to 2 to 5, 4 or 5 pages of that book. Wait, I did this. Oh, wait, before I eat, I'm about to read from this other book. What I'm giving you is a skill set and habit formation to break you out any subconscious tendencies and habits that have been keeping you from reaching your highest potential within your day in, day out, night in, night out life. You cannot just be general. You cannot just have small, seeming small goals, because actually those are big. You just can't have seeming short-term goals, because actually those are long-term. You got to have habits. Then you got to have conscious competence, so you can be consciously reliant on self. And this is the true knowledge of self, because without determination, your knowledge of self goes void. Just like your faith without works is dead. And so it's about your in the now and then your habit. It's about your conscious awareness versus your, just like you have your mind-body coordination, and you have your body's already used to doing certain things in a certain circumstances, like a track runner, your legs go a certain way when you run in certain races versus walking. The same thing with your mind and your day in, day out habits. You have to create these habits that are going to help you manifest and experience that manifestation at your highest potential of joy, happiness, fun, great fortune. But then you have the jealous people you're dealing with. And so that's the micro level of this battle. The macro level was dealing with the craziness of the threat of the Second Civil War, because someone just tried to shoot Donald Trump, whether it was staged or not. It's not everybody see it as a stage. Not everybody see it as I'm going to kill the left, is what some people are saying. We have to kill him. We have to take the presidency. The more moneyed people are like, we have to take the presidency. We have to support Donald Trump. We'll be back in pocket, and we can get revenge and turn things to how we want them versus how things are, because there's a Democrat. Then you have the lower level, more extreme people. They're not part of the political class. They're not in the money like that. And if they are, they're using their money to prepare and be preppers. Like I said, I think a lot of you need to. I have prepper books I just showed you. You need first aid skills. You need to learn how to deal with electricity when it's gone, and how to clean water around you, and how to access and find water. These are the different things. And so that is the micro level of survival stuff, but yet you need to be politically aware, which is the macro level. You need to be aware of these big things it affects you, but not directly hitting you, but it affects the attitude of the people. So some people have political consciousness, political religion, and they don't even realize it. They think they're just Christians or Muslims. They don't realize being a Democrat is their religion. Being a Republican is their religion. Being a leftist is their religion. Being a right is a religion. You see, that's religion. So they go out in public and they see you. Oh, we have this political religion. I. Selfish. We don't share grocery stores with people with long dreadlocks, with Negro lips, Negro noses, with long beard hair, with a vest on, with some cultural necklaces on. No, my wife and kids can't see you. You're not a real American. Now you getting it? So that's micro level aggressions against you. The macro level is the killing of Donald Trump, threatening us to go to second civil war. But let's get back. We talked about the books. Let's get back to the personal relationships. You need a group of people. They have been discouraging people from not only being responsible. The only way to be responsible is to be held responsible. And what is that? That comes with people that will be your accountability partners. And that's what's going on. You need accountability partnerships. You really do. You need to be out of the bullshit and into the know. And on that note, I want to let y'all know I do drink mushroom. I don't do coffee. I never really drank coffee all my life, but around when I got in my 40s, I started drinking coffee. I did it for a couple of years, but I also was drinking wine, and I was eating out. I've been a sugar addict off and on throughout my life. And I started having real bad energy problems, which they call pre-diabetic, but I caught it. No doctor, nobody. I just felt myself being energy drained and not healthy. So I stopped drinking the wine. I stopped drinking the coffee first. And I found out about mushrooms. I started doing all kind of different mushrooms. So this is a mushroom, and I want to invite. I'm not going to tell you which company it is, but I'm going to tell you right now that you need to start drinking mushroom. And that's a health. You see how in between I just went to health? Now I'm inspiring you about health. You need to do this in your day-to-day life, because while I'm doing this recording, other people are consuming social media. I am social media right now. So I want you to drink the right mushroom drink. I will let you guys know different companies. There's multiple companies. But yeah, it's great. You don't have to heat it up. It doesn't have the best taste. You can mix it with some honey. And yes, and I do want you to be the best you. So we're going to do health videos coming up soon. Probably tomorrow I'll do a more health, what to eat and why, how to eat and how to prepare it in this rush, go society. But right here on the screen, I switched my switcher over to the PowerPoint. Now the PowerPoint is just going. It's just switching back and forth randomly to visuals. So this was spiritual warfare. It says good versus evil in the World War III. And so it shows on, that's the macro level. It shows a dark hand. And then it shows an explosion in between. Then it says a human hand. And they're both reaching in between, like this mic, right? So the reason why I want to show you that polarization is no longer this side of the pole and that side of the pole. It's meeting in the middle now, because it's folding space. It's time travel. It's interdimensional travel going on. We have force. We don't live on a flat earth or a round earth. We live in a energy consciousness field. Say it with me. An energy consciousness field. Say it with me. An energy consciousness field is what we live in. And so with that folding of space, it used to be a line, this side of the polarization, that side of the polarization, opposites and in between. No, now it's unfolding space. The dimensions are the energy consciousness field. We don't live on a round earth or a flat earth. We live in an energy consciousness field. The earth and none of that exists unless we do. And so like these energy consciousness field are blending into each other. So the reality is changing. And so the reality scene, and that's why you have like the butterfly effect and full of is going off and going down. And that's why you have the Mandela effect and all these different things. It's because people are unstable in themselves because they're caught up on the macro and micro level hostilities, killing them and dragging them down. It's dragging you guys into a health issue over the years. So younger people can't relate with this. You get older, you don't have that, or you ever get drunk as a younger person and your energy's down the next day. And your heart, even if you force it and you try to go out because you can't because the energy's down. Well, some older people, because of years of abuse and hurt and pain, or being an abuser, is extremely draining. Being a vampire, a parasite, and a leech, being a sabotager, all those are extremely draining. Now the visual, I just did the switcher, spiritual warrior in recovery. And it's perfect timing. Because this is exactly where I want to go with this. You need to be, that's why I showed you about the mushrooms. You need to energize up in the right way. And so men need testosterone, right? But you need balanced use of it for the specific time. That's why I was saying earlier, of your life, the season of your life. You needed that testosterone to be high so that you could perform as a younger man like me, running the 400, competing. Doing boxing and competing, playing football and competing. I literally did these things. Doing debate in university and getting a scholarship to study in the Southern Hemisphere. I ended up studying in South Africa at the Nelson Mandela Metropolitan University, where I actually shook Nelson Mandela's hand in 2009 and Jacob Zuma's and talked with them. Well, Nelson couldn't talk too much, but the king. But the point is, I also did my studies in the United States and Europe. And you need to understand, as this says, spiritual warrior in recovery. Now I switched back to you because I need you to understand that you need to be tapped into where your energy level is going to be in your heart and your mind, health-wise. But because you have these people and you keep thinking of them because they're violating your energy and space, trying to over talk you or force you into talking when you see them. That's a parasite. But if they're just being positive and giving positive energy, you need to be grateful and get that. But if you see that they're a bad energy, not your type, you're the bad energy at that point. Well, this isn't my type. My type of person is this type and dresses like this and this. No. That's 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional slave-mindedness. You need to get past that. Now, this is where someone you care for, you show them this video. Whether y'all watch the physical video or just listen as an audio podcast, you need to get them to realize how ignorant they are. Let's say inspire, just like I keep playing this song, because you have to realize we all, and I want you to realize we're all dealing with these vampires. So it's just like when you get drunk and high, when you deal with these people that are parasitical, leeches, and sabotagers, misinformation or disinformation. Disinformation is when they're doing it on purpose. They're trying to lie to you and manipulate you, misinform you. Misinformation, they're just ignorant. You need to be able to realize that. And in that little encounter with them, you need to keep your energies and keep that high level flow like Muhammad Ali and Michael Jordan, like Serena Williams. You know, you need to be on your Nina Simone performance. You need to be on those levels, that Fela Kuti, Bob Marley level, that high vibrations. But you're going to deal with these parasitical people. If you come into your bed and sleep, now your heart now comes out when you're going home to sleep, when you're laying down to sleep. And all this information, now you cancel because them people are parasiting you. They're leeching you. Or maybe you're the parasite leeching, angry because someone don't want to have nothing to do with you because they can see your negative energy or you're jealous of them. I'm speaking to both sides because we don't have no time left. We're getting into prophecy here. It's not that we're in prophetic times. All times are prophetic. But prophecy applied, you have to realize we're in trying times, regardless of what they try to make you feel. You know what I'm saying? The siren is going, just like the scene has just changed. I just did the switching. Is the economy going to crash? Now it's a question in your mind. Now you're thinking that, you know? And so back to me, always remember the call-in number is on the screen. Call in 909-710-0881. That's 909-710-0881, United States. You can call in anytime you want. And we will put you on and you can speak and talk. Right now, I just got to let y'all know this is about balancing. You need to get in astrology. Remember, we're going to get back to the main points. You need to be connected with multiple people that you could connect with every day. Not only give each other good vibes, but talk on a higher consciousness level about what the time and season is and what you should be doing and what the next season will be and what you need to prepare for. You need to constantly be in the exact right atonement and alignment with the now. You need to have that intention and then start the habits like I just influenced you with. You need to have those relationships. I meet men. Yes, many of them black men. All the time. I give them chances, this and this and this. I see they're unhealthy. I see they have issues. I have issues. You might think I'm unhealthy. No, I'm not as unhealthy as you think. You know, I don't see y'all, and I know most of y'all don't go to MMA gyms and spar, don't go to boxing gyms and spar with strangers you don't even know. And you're 50 years old and out of shape and still doing this. You don't do that. I do. You know, I hit 10 sprints once a week, 200-yard sprints, 200-meter sprints, or 100 and 150-meter sprints, full speed with only 30 seconds in between, 10 of them. Then from there, I get a little rest, and then I go into other workouts. This is at least once a week. Blah, blah, blah. I'm telling you how to prepare. You need to prepare. So yeah, this is exactly what is happening with the reality we live in, and like I said, it's about the audio right now. We're not tripping off the visuals. Hope y'all listening, getting a lot out of this. You need to have relationships with the right spiritual people. Not just religion, not just repetitive chants and things like that. You need to be connected with people that are actually talking to you and giving you new information, new downloads, putting you on new levels, and continue stimulating you together. You see what I'm saying? You need that. You need to actually be stimulated by the metaphysical speaking like I'm getting you. You need to actually be enlightened by the experiences with these individuals. They need to be putting you up on knowledge not just of astrology, but giving you that, like Ifa. The teachings of Ifa really helps people because they not only teaching you that this planet is this and this is the house, like astrology and stuff, but what Ifa, the Yoruba religion of Ifa, does is it helps you deal with your down-to-earth reality, your real talents, your gifts. It puts you on healthy routines and encourages you to do those things. Now, just like any other cultural religion, it has its images and songs and chants and getting together. But what's happening is the real teachers, not the fake, not only the Babalawo teachers, but the other students, they have these deep routine day in and day out conversations about realizations, and it teaches you that you need to be focused on your talent and getting the best out of your talent, but it teaches you how to balance that with knowledge of metaphysical reality. It doesn't tell you to only be religious. So with people with this religious thing, it's really a problem. That's where Rastafari also helps people. You know, your talent, your skills. How do you feel about yourself? In this United States, people don't be part of communities. Communities have culture. They get together, they have routines, gatherings, they celebrate, they mourn together. They have personal close relationships. They have investment partners, business partners. They help each other monetize their talents and skills. You have millions of people in the United States of America, Canada, the Caribbean, the Pacific Islands, which are just simply, even Europe and Africa, people just getting online. And although they are connected with people that want to connect with them, they won't. That's what I was going back to what I was saying. I meet these, I started something called the Men's Bureau. I was trying to help men, and they didn't see themselves in me. Come to find out, they're running from themselves because it's so easy to run from yourself and find non-beneficial, you can have non-beneficial and non-helpful things to do with your time that are stimulating you but not helping you. It's draining your energy, it's wasting your time. You're not on your destiny plan. You're OD, as the Ifa calls it. You see? So it's a lot of little silly, tragic things going on with people's time, energy, and ultimately with their lives. And this is what I'm trying to get at you about. Like, you literally have to get a solid place with yourself where you're going to be able to benefit yourself with a lifestyle, which means habits, which helps you not only stabilize with a respectable, energized life, a force field of protection around you. So when you're always going to run into parasitical people and parasitical media, the stuff that knocks you down or that gets you to feel overly up when you don't need to be, or feel up and overly anxious and overly ambitious about things you shouldn't feel that way about. This is what I'm talking about. Like, this is exactly what's going on. And this is exactly what people are not really getting to what they need to get to in life, get in the feel of life, and get to the level of life because they're incapable of connecting with the right people. You have to connect in your micro life, your real down to earth life, with spiritually conscious people. And as a spiritual conscious person, you should not be alone. Even if you have a focus and you want to do things on social media, you need to have down to earth relationships with other spiritual conscious people, even people that got a different version and a different vision, but that's similar. And you're getting good, great information and good vibes and strengthening vibes. You need to connect with them. You cannot continue to red flag people. Continue to wrongfully red flag people. I did a video, a series of videos about how ignorant people that are the lower economically people had got infatuated with this red flagging thing. And it's stopping them from making friends, business partners, stopping them from learning. Now, if Damon Dash and Jay-Z expected each other to be perfect like some punk bitches, y'all wouldn't be worshiping them. You understand me? If Eric Sermon and Paris Smith were expecting themselves to be perfect, find somebody that was perfect. You see what I mean? If Serena Williams and Venus Williams' dad needed that trainer to be Mr. Perfect and be dark skinned and black like him, or grown up in poverty like him, you see how ignorant we can be. People that think because they have comfortable lives and this, when they run across somebody that seems like they might not have anything immediate to get out of them, they don't want to have nothing to do with them. Well, that's what their legacy in life is. Guess what your legacy in life is, being that way. You will never do anything significant. You will never be anyone significant. You will always be a fake little wannabe and a follower. That's why. Because when the people that have something to offer you, you told the universe, no, I have only one specific thing I want, and that's it. Everybody like that has a lot of complaints. That's what you need to know. So keep your self-esteem out there. If these people are acting too good for you, they're fake. I gave you a lot of information, and it's just a tap in. I gave you a lot. A lot of that information and ideas I'm actually going to do specific talks about. But I'm very general right now because on this specific page, I am just taking off on the O.W.U network. So what I want to do is, I'm dealing with some technical issues, obviously, and different things, but I just want to get you to realize the main thing is you need to stop red flagging, stop isolating yourself, or stop overly putting yourself out there, and get into the mode and find ways to inform yourself and find the right people to vibe with. And it's not just about the vibe, it's about the conversations. It's about those conversations. It's about that information. So definitely, the love is always here. You can communicate with me. Again, I'm O.W.U Kalini, Asaru Ma'a, the Pat Bay, also known as Mild Mannered Citizen, David Dimitri. I am live in color. And David Dimitri, live in color, is right there to be found on my YouTube. It's my other YouTube, David Dimitri Live in Color. We do more entertainment type of things, edutainment, and more adverts and fun, yada. But here we drop in spiritual, metaphysical, and quantum, and common sense consciousness, and we even deal with political awareness and political news on O.W.U. And so I want y'all to know, yes, there are some serious, deeply threatening things going on against us as people. So what we must do now is grip in. You need to find those real ones, those loved ones, your A-likes, but even those you might not. Allow yourself to have somebody that's stronger than you and smarter than you. People have become permanent fans. They always have these people, I look up to him. Kendrick Lamar, Kendrick Lamar had people he looked up to and he was humble and he admired them. Not just rich and famous people. I talk about down-to-earth people. And every time he could, he'd get the information. And all these great people that you admire and stuff do this. But there's so lack of that. Grow up, man. Quit trying to be so great. I meet these young men, and it's pitiful. It's like they need you to be, and then I meet these old women and men that never could even do this conversation, but they're better than me. they never been into places in the world, but they're better than me. Hold on. There's always a competition with them. They're hurt at your presence, or they give you good energy, but they never follow up. They're hurt. They're hiding it. Why would you let yourself be like that? And why would you let yourself still be so close to someone like that? There's people to meet. Communicate with me. We can do that. You can come on. I can bring you in on a show. You don't have to come in physically. You could be anywhere in the world. I can send you the link and we could talk about things. We can even talk about personal things if you want. If that will make you feel, and you can get a follow off that, or you can come on and teach. Let's do it. Look, the main talk and the main vision today and the main vibration was about these micro and macro polarizing, hostile images, threatening, causing fear and worry, or these overly seductive, deceitful misinformation, disinformation, distracting you, draining you, versus knowledge of self and determination, love of self, and living a habitual life day in, day out, night in, night out, with meditation, with prayer, of course, but with healthy encounters and relations with other human beings and animals and nature. Spending time in nature, not just on phones, not just on the computer. Balancing that, being healthy, and then not just surviving and dealing with challenges and just making it, but thriving. So I'm going to do follow-up videos focused on the positive end of it, because you have to build yourself into that great Muhammad Ali, that great Serena Williams. You want to be that politically like that Barack Obama, or that what's the other end, the Republican Abraham Lincoln. You want to be this. If you're a revolutionary, you want to be like Nanny or Harriet Tubman. You want to be focused in, but you have to do like Muhammad Ali and Serena. You have to have a fun life and joy. You have to bring that humor and that good life energy. So no matter what you getting in, once the battles come, you could perform greatly and come out of it greatly, still performing in life. You don't want to be broken. You don't just want to survive. You don't want to remain in that same stagnant. You need to grab on to people that have the positive, good energy. Quit scrolling, quit needing constant stimulation. Get that knowledge from social media. Now get off of it and pick up a book. The right book. Not no shady, stupid stuff. Something that's going to give you something about negotiation, like I told you I'm reading. Something about investment. Go on things that's going to better you. Practice. Have great short conversations with strangers. Don't catharticize. Talk about the business as if you're in it. You don't have to lie. Just talk about, I'm interested in this, and get some, make calls, talk, practice, send emails, go, practice. We'll talk more. And this is what we do. Again, I'm O.W.U. Kalini, Asaru Ma'a, the Pet Bay. Look up those names. You'll know why I am what I am. Mild Mannered Citizen, David Dimitri, live in color. I am David Dimitri.